welcome back to our change interview series where we talk about changes that people have made in their life, big changes or have faced in their lives. And today my guest is the actor David Burnell IV. Welcome, David.
Hello. Thank you for having me again.
This is a very special episode because it's our first ever English-only episode in this series.
And I'm the first one.
David, we have something in common. We are almost the same age, and we have both made a big career change, so to speak, in midlife. And for you, it was that you decided to become an actor, and you have started acting just a couple of years ago, and you are already very successful. 2 years ago, you joined the project Gunpowder Milkshake, an action thriller that has just come out this month, December 2021, in Germany, in the cinemas now. And you're starring there in a goon team under the leadership of Ivan Kaye, who has played King Aelle in Vikings, and you're playing opposite Karen Gillan, who is known for big Hollywood film franchises. So you have made a really fast start in the business, in the industry. Got up, I mean, there are people who are hanging around for years, only getting background jobs and no lines, and landing on the cutting floor for years and years. And you are already in one of the big things of this year and very visible. That's a really successful career in the early stages already. And I wanted to know, first of all, what did you do before that, and how did you come to decide to become an actor?
I think acting came to me because I was in the military, and the longer I stayed in the military, so I was in the U.S. Marine Corps, United States Marine Corps, for 11 years as a communications officer, or communications specialist, or whatever you want to call it. And the longer I stayed in the military, I felt like compression. I felt so in the box, and then I continued to want to express myself more and do more things, but it just seems the higher I got, the more compressed I got. So it was like a lobster, the lobster is getting compressed, and it's like it's time to finish this shell. I got to get out of this shell. I'm growing. So I bust out of that shell, and I just think that I was always trying to express myself and be an entrepreneur and push a certain brand. I had a brand out. And so that kind of led into me getting an agent in California and then booking a commercial. And then from there, I started doing short films and building a reel, and then, doing a lot of free films for students. I mean, I still do student films even today. And then that led to coming over here to Berlin and getting a bigger agent. Shout out to Crawford Talents. And then, I mean, this was like one of the first big auditions that she sent my way. And she was just starting out too, I think in 2016. So, I mean, I got out of the military, came over here, hooked up with Crawford Talents, and then she sent Gunpowder Milkshake. And it was like, I didn't even know what a Gunpowder Milkshake, Karen Gillan, I didn't know none of that stuff. And I started looking, and I was like, oh my God, this is huge. Yeah. Shout out to Navat, Papa Shadow. But that was kind of like my story. I mean, it kind of just came to me it kind of just came to me to answer your question as far as what to do. I listened. I think a lot of people don't listen. It comes to you, and some people are just scared, like, oh no, I can never do that. Stay in the military for another 11 years. That's what I'll do. And then you wake up at 65 and say, oops.
I wish I had. Yeah, I would like to dive a little bit deeper into that. If I understood that correctly, you could have stayed in the military, but you decided to get out of it yourself because of this feeling of being compressed and not being able to express yourself as you wanted to.
That was the plan. That was the solid plan. You don't do 11 years in the military and get out halfway. You do 20 years, get your retirement check like everybody else, and you have a solid check and income coming in. It's the safest way, so you don't do what I did. So it was definitely a conscious decision, and me saying, no, hell no, I'm gonna take this 11 years and put it all into me and invest all into me, and whatever comes with it comes with it. But I don't have to look back and say, oh man, I should have done that. I could have been in Gunpowder Milkshake, and I could have done this, and coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I gotta tell you and everyone, it's a lonely journey. Like, nobody cares. Like, when I got out, nobody cared. Nobody cared. Oh yeah, you're gonna go to the movies. Okay, yeah, good, great, yeah, sure. You're gonna be an actor. God, you can do it. But they don't care. They don't, because it's all about self-reflection, and a lot of them, it's what they see themselves. Advice always comes from the inner piece, the inner part of yourself. Anytime anybody gives advice, like I'm giving now, it's coming from me, the self-reflection.
But the thing is, I call it the inner compass. And it's actually the thing I'm trying to get out to people, that my service is about connecting people back with their inner compass, with their intuition, with their inner wisdom, to find their way and to be also deeply convinced of which way to go in life, irrespective of what other people are telling them, because that's always one of the challenges. So you went out of the military, and that was an uncomfortable decision, because you could have had it more comfortable, more secure financially if you had stayed, but you were convinced that it wasn't the right thing for you to stay, right? That's you listen to that inner compass you have, your inner wisdom.
Yeah. And yeah. I could tell you, there was even layers after that. I mean, I got a job at Airbus when I got out. That was a comfortable route, but still I felt compressed. I thought that getting out of the military and then getting a huge job at Airbus, oh, you're set. But I still was compressed. So that was even a second layer that just told me, no, I got to get out. I have to. For me, it was just something that I had to do for myself. And I was just convinced that I can't be working for people.
Okay, so you went out of the military, then you applied for a job, you got a good job, and you found out that that's not the thing either. So you didn't really go out with, I have a plan to go this direction and do that, but you went out because you knew that isn't the thing, but you still had to figure out what your thing is, right?
Yeah.
After getting out. So that's a very courageous decision also. I think what really blocks many people and scares many people, especially in midlife, when you are over 30, 35 and are thinking about making a change because you are not happy where you are, is the question of how to make a living. So basically, did you have concerns about that? How to survive? Do you still get any payments you said you don't get the usual retirement payment from the military. Do you get anything from there, or how did you approach that?